Warning: the following episode contains a very fast time-lapse involving some very rapid movement, and has the very strong potential of causing seizures in people prone to epilepsy. If you are prone to epilepsy or otherwise sensitive to very fast motion, it is advised that you do not watch the first 17 minutes of this video. Thank you. Hello, and greetings from Eisenhower City, studious capital of Skydustria. In this episode, in case you couldn't tell from the insanely fast movement of the time-lapse, I'm rebuilding the school. When I first built this back in Stage 2, I only needed a single classroom, thus allowing me to make effectively a one-room schoolhouse. I cannot do that with the high school that I must build to complete Stage 4. And so I am in the process of expanding the school to accommodate the requirements of a high school. Now, you saw me rebuild one classroom there. This here is the principal's office. Now I'm laying the floor for classroom number 2. And I think that's the stairway. Yeah, that's the stairway heading up to the second floor, because the classrooms are so big and the space I have to work with a bit constrained. So the schoolhouse itself is a 2-floor structure. You've basically got, yeah, and that's the corridor on the second floor. But basically you have 2 classrooms, a restroom, and a principal's office on the first floor. The second floor has 2 more classrooms and another larger restroom. Alright, and here I am building the walls up, and now the roof is being laid onto the schoolhouse itself. Alright, and here I believe I'm building the interior walls. Yeah, and you can see me basically turning a bunch of sand into sandstone. I collected, over the course of the series to date, something on the order of 8.5 double chests of sand. Just for the record, I used all but 9 stacks. And now I'm cutting down some trees, so that, you know, this took a lot of sandstone and a lot of wood, and more than a bit of stone. A very expensive construction, but then it did have to have quite a bit built in it. And let me look up the requirements real quickly. Yeah, so I have to have at least 3 classrooms. I opted to build 4. Alright, and in case you're wondering, I'm now onto the library area here. The first 2 floors are the library. The top floor is the science lab, and it has to have enough workstations and stools for 25 students, with a vent hood and working shower. This initial piece is almost entirely structural at this point. The stuff that will make it actually work as say a science lab or a library would be built later. And in case you missed it, and you probably did because it was really brief, I'm running this at about 25 speed, so if I'm there for 2 seconds during the recording, it's going to show up as about 2.5 frames here, which means you might well miss it, but I did, between building the schoolhouse and building the library, actually build a system that would automatically turn sand into sandstone. It was a real time saver, I have to say. Well, maybe not a time saver so much as an energy saver. Alright. Now I'm trying to think, am I on to... Okay, yeah, I'm already on to the cafeteria / dormitory. And this is actually the first design for the dormitory. I wound up making a minor alteration to the upper floors once I realized that the way I was setting up the stairs wasn't going to work. My initial plan, of course, was just to have the main corridor, and then I loop going around the corner, stair flat like so, and then with the stairway up the other side behind the bathroom. The problem is that that doesn't leave enough room on the second floor, actually 3rd floor, because the dorms start on the 2nd floor. It doesn't leave me enough room to access everything and still be able to put in the stairs I need. So here's where I redo the stairs. Alright. And now I am continuing work on the dormitories, laying out the rooms using sandstone borders, while laying down wooden floors as well. You'll also see me putting torches as needed just to light things up. Although I admit, in a time-lapse like this, that's not as big a deal as it could well have been. Alright? And building up the walls even further, the dormitory ended up being dormitory/cafeteria ended up being 5 floors with a basement. The basement was a modest basement. I think I built it on camera. Or was that lost when the memory banks overflowed? I don't remember. Anyway, yeah, 5 floors with a basement. The kitchen required for the cafeteria was in the basement. The first floor was the cafeteria. And then floors 2 through 5 were quite simply dormitories. And each floor of the dormitory basically had 2 bedrooms, 2 beds each, some toilets, I think, 1 toilet and 4 showers, sorry. Yeah. Alright, and there's me building interior walls. And I think somewhere around here is where I had a problem with the memory banks. Somewhere around here, where I was building the interior walls. I don't remember how far I got. And I do apologize for the very epileptic display. Unfortunately, I wound up recording something in the vicinity of 6.5 hours. Alright, and I believe we are now past the memory wipe. So we're in the restrooms, and this is me trying to figure out how to build a shower, or rather how to make a shower that would work. Alright, and here I have it figured out. So now I'm getting the stalls going, building up the stalls a bit. No water to actually make the showers work completely as of yet. And here's the water. Humming. Yep. And you'll also notice that I'm putting wooden slabs on the roof, or not the roof, the ceiling, and that is purely for visual aesthetic. It's also the reason why I had 4 high ceilings initially. You may or may not have noticed the initial 4 high ceilings, but that's what allowed me to have the wooden slabs for ceilings in the dormitories. Alright? Now more water to fill up more shovels. Alright? And at this point I'm also putting ceilings over the hallways and the bedrooms. Again, that's a purely visual matter. Alright. Now to grab more water and more wood. Yeah, you'd be surprised how much material it takes to build a high school. You know, if I didn't have to build a high school in this stage, I probably would have tried to put it off a bit. But oh well, what can I do, really? Alright, and here's me laying out the cafeteria. And realizing I need more seats for the cafeteria. The cafeteria has to have 60 seats. I had built it with 90. Alright, and I'm also putting a ceiling on the cafeteria, as you can see. Yep, and that should be the ceiling effectively complete. Gathering a few reeds so that I can make some more bookshelves, so that I can get the library finished off properly. Yeah, a lot of materials, bookshelves, seats, the odd desk or 2. But yeah, also some lights. Need a lot of lights there. I've opted for a couple of pairs of sofas facing each other on the 2nd floor, just to mark that as a sort of sitting area. It is, formally speaking, part of the library, which is why it's allowed as part of the stage requirements. Alright. And now you can see me working on the vent hood for the science lab upstairs. I might have finished it off. Or did I finish it off at this point? Well, there I am gathering more resources. Yeah, I did have it finished off because now I'm working on the floor of my gymnasium and now the walls of the gymnasium. Don't forget to leave some space for doorways so that people can get in and out, gather more materials, still more materials, reload the sandstone maker, gather some stone bricks. That was the gym storeroom I just put the roof on. Sleeping for the night there, partly for visibility. And yeah, finishing up the walls of the gymnasium itself, and now I'm starting to put the roof. Yeah, it's not a quick process, or a cheap process for that matter, to place the roof. Alright, stone to line the floor of the gym storeroom. Alright. And now I'm actually using plain basalt and trying to sort out the actual shape that I'm looking for the running oval. A little bit of a transition point there because of a little bit of a quirk in the recording. Alright, and there's some dirt that I'm placing there in the middle of the oval. The goal is to grow some grass there, but that wasn't exactly a quick procedure. It was going to take some time to get the grass from where there was grass into this oval here. And to be honest, at the end of this episode, I don't think it quite made it. Alright? And now that I have more stone and stone bricks, putting more work in on the roof, and I've switched from stairs to half slabs at this point to basically give it more of a rounded look, as opposed to making it look like an A-frame roof. Alright, and more basalt to finish off the running oval. And now I am taking some... Right, that was me sleeping in the dormitory. Alright, and I believe this is me finishing off, not quite, but I've gone ahead and lit up the gymnasium so that, I can see, and B, mobs can't spawn. I've also opted to make 4 glowstone blocks and embed them into the floor. Alright. And yeah, that's the floors for the locker rooms. You may also see me from time to time digging up some of the dirt that I had used to connect the running oval to the grass near the shoreline. And it's still a matter of me not needing that dirt to be there anymore. Alright, and this is the walls to the locker rooms that I'm working on right now. Alright, now gathering some materials to help me finish up the locker room walls. And that's the interior stairway for one side of the locker room. And now the second floor of the locker room. And with the locker rooms, I put the lockers themselves on the first floor. And really, the lockers are just wooden doors in front of wooden planks. Although I actually placed the wooden doors from where the wooden planks would actually be, simply to ensure that the wooden door was in the right place. Because I don't have access to a red power saw, I don't think that can actually cut through wood. Well, maybe I did. Or maybe I just couldn't be bothered to make one. But at any rate, I didn't want to make, well, I had to use the full stone blocks. Later on, once I have access to a saw that I know can cut wood, I'm thinking that would be the diamond hand saw. Alright, but yeah, there's me working on some beautification for the tunnel between the 2 locker rooms. Alright. More sleeping. More gathering of resources. Alright, and now for the roof on the locker room. And this is every roof in the school completed. So now to gather the last few materials to... Yeah, there's a bunch of doors for the lockers. And the last of the doors that I needed for the lockers. And now I went ahead and grabbed more materials. Oh, right, I think I grabbed 2 more so that I could have doors leading up to the stairways, leading up to the bathrooms in the locker rooms. And you can see me placing the wooden planks there briefly. I should warn you, it is going by very quickly. It's about a 20... It is, in fact, a 25 speed... Oh, yeah, but here's the showers. But yeah, it's a 20... Okay, those are toilets there. Yeah. But yeah, it's a 25 speed time lapse, and that's, well, just a matter of the fact that what's recorded on camera took about 8 hours-ish. And that's just what was on camera. There was a good 3 or 4 hours more that I did not catch on camera for whatever reason. Alright, but yeah, here's me working on the other side of the locker room. Alright, briefly. More water so that I could actually complete the toilets, and the showers, and whatnot. So that I have completely working locker rooms. Alright. Reorienting the toilets so that they all point the direction they're supposed to. Alright. Some more shelving in the storeroom. The gym storeroom. And this is the bathroom inside the schoolhouse itself. And this is the first floor bathroom. And now here's the second floor bathroom. Alright. And a little bit more work on the... I think this is the first floor bathroom that I wound up redoing. Placing the sink. And so what am I doing now? The doors, obviously, is to give the students a bit of privacy while they're in the bathroom, or at least on the toilet. Alright. Some more basalt cobblestone that I'm smelting into basalt. Crafting of more bookshelves so that I can make proper teacher's desks. And now here I'm finishing up the classrooms with teacher's desks and blackboards. Yeah. And now the last thing I needed to do, once I had that sorted out, obviously put a lot of stuff up. Alright, some stone brick pathways, some sand to line the pathways, a little bit of dirt here and there. And, yeah. And now for the outer walls, I think. If memory serves me right, this is where I build the outer walls. Yep, this is the outer wall here, around the running track. Yep, more sandstone creation. And finishing up the wall. And that brings us to the conclusion of the time-lapse. Alright, and after a very long time-lapse, here is the result. Trumanville High School. Alright, we walk into the doorway here and we notice the stone brick path. Never mind the door on the pathway. I'll explain what that is and why that's there later. But first, let's go up here to the left, and we are in the schoolhouse itself. We're on the first floor. Turn right. You see the stairs up to the second floor, but let's stick to the first floor for now. The first door to the right here is a simple classroom. 25 chairs, a teacher's desk, and the blackboard. And if I head over here to classroom number 2, it's the same story. 25 desks, a teacher's desk, and the blackboard. Alright. And here is the principal's office, where the bad kids go to get punished, and where the head teacher makes his or her preparations for the day. Alright. This is where the principal sits, and those are where the people the principal is talking to will sit, whether they be students, teachers, whatever. Alright? And this little opening here to the left is, in fact, the bathroom. A nice little sink here, and a nice pair of toilet stalls, each with their own door. And hey, the toilet's flush. Okay, they're flush levers. They have a bit of a tendency to get stuck, but still, they do flush. So, having seen the first floor, let's head up to the second floor of the schoolhouse, and there are only 2 floors in the schoolhouse. I may expand it in the future. In fact, I'll have to when I'm ready to when the time comes to upgrade this structure further, but still. Classroom. 25 chairs, teacher's desk, blackboard. Nice little window which looks out onto the roof of the gym. We'll go to the gym in a little bit. Next up, the 4th and final classroom. Again, 25, teacher, and blackboard. Alright. And finally down here at the other end of the hallway, and here is a window overlooking Meiji Boulevard there. Very nice how that Meiji Boulevard looks. So, into the bathroom, into the sink, and into our 2 toilet stalls, which, just as they do downstairs, have flush levers that get stuck. Sorry, I couldn't make it work properly with, without getting them stuck. Alright? So now we'll make our leave of the school building. Make our way over here to this little grassy area here. Well, it's supposed to be grassy. The thing is, the nearest grass is actually near the shoreline. So I had to build a tendril of dirt just to get it over to here. And I managed to get it this far. It still hasn't even taken root on the running track yet. But let's actually start off here in our gymnasium. This is the gymnasium. Yes, I know it's missing a few things. It could use a basketball hoop, or perhaps some better line markings on the floor, but hey, it's a nice place for dodgeball. And here's where all the equipment is stored. A couple of ball bins. Yeah, you have to use your imaginations a little bit for those. And some crates of other gym supplies along the walls. And once we leave the gym, we make our way onto the running track. Now, right now, there are a couple of obstacles that runners will have to leap over. Unfortunately, that's a necessary part of getting grass where I want it. Which is to say, on this interior of the running track here, so that it can be used for such things as javelin throwing and the like, as well as to our grass bed over there. Alright? But you've noticed 2 doors under this archway. And I should point out that everything in this area here is the same as over there. It's just that that one is mirrored of this. So I'll only show you this one. And now we are officially in the locker room. You open the door, and we are in the locker. Yeah, I'll be fixing that later. For now, it works. It at least gives the obvious appearance of a locker. And if we go through this doorway, we go to a secret passage, which takes us upstairs. And we go here, which takes us to the shower. And yes, the showers actually work. There are 3 showers in each locker room. And 2 flush toilets, and like literally every other toilet in Trumanville, the levers tend to stick. Alright? But that's the locker rooms. Alright. So now we go through this final doorway here. And we'll start off going in here because this is the lower level of the library. And it actually contains all of the bookshelves for the library. Very nice. Nice bunch of tables and chairs for students to sit at and read and or study. And or ogle the quote-unquote hot librarians. Note to self, hot librarians exist only in fiction. And if we continue down this hallway and make our way to the left here, we make our way to the cafeteria with a crap ton of seats. Enough seats here, in fact, for 90 people. Overkill? Yes, but hey. Alright, and here is the buffet line where the students will go to get their food. And now we go downstairs, a nice little counter, and some ovens for the preparation of the food that will be served to the students. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward. Alright, now we make our way up to the 2nd floor of the library building, and here we have basically 2 sets of sofas facing each other. Just a nice place to sit down, maybe read if you don't like having the tables downstairs or if the tables are overcrowded. But yeah, that's the 2nd floor, and the 3rd floor up here is actually the science lab. A bunch of tables and chairs for students while they do their experiments. Some lights to make sure that everything's working properly and the experiments in various things don't become experiments in fighting off creepers. A shower, fully working. For some reason I left it on, but it is a working shower. And here is the vent hood. It vents up through the ceiling and outside. And that's floors 2 and 3 of this side. And now we go over here. This is the dormitory building, and this actually has 5 floors. Now this is the layout of a second floor bedroom. Nice big window overlooking the ocean. 2 beds, 2 desks, 2 chairs. And wooden planks for the ceiling. Alright, another bedroom. And here is the second floor bathroom. Alright, showers. There are 4 on each floor. And a toilet. Again, the lever does stick. Nothing I can really do about that. Alright, and now we make our way upstairs. And this is the standard form for the upper floors. A little bit of a bench here facing the 2 desks. And again, the 2 beds. Alright, and I'll show you also the upper floor's bathroom. Here, no doors on the showers. Unfortunately, I couldn't fit them in. I'll have to sort out some solution to that later on. But at least the toilet is fully private. And yes, I should point out that there are 2 more floors to the dormitory. Here's the 4th floor, same as the 3rd floor except mirrored. And here's the 5th floor, same as the 3rd floor. Except for this little fence here. And this is just to make sure students don't go falling off this edge and hurt themselves. And that concludes this tour of Trumanville High School. Good morning. I am back, having actually completed the high school. I am live, and I hope you like the new view of downtown Eisenhower City. Well, it's called Eisenhower City for the moment, although the city council has decided that Eisenhower City is a bit of an awkward name for a city. So they've done a bit of brainstorming and they've come up with something a little bit better. So, city center, Trumanville. That's right. The city is now called Trumanville. Alright? Now, this is the last thing I have to do to complete the stage. And that is to make the monument 17 blocks high. Used to be able to got away with 11 for the last stage, but to advance it needs to be 17 high. And I've decided that this design, the tuning fork that I had, while impressive for its size, wasn't really going to expand all that well. I'd have to demolish it pretty significantly. So instead, what I'm going to do is a sort of double helix design. Alright? And I'm wondering if I couldn't do a quadruple helix even. You know what? As big as this is, I think I will do a quadruple helix. Alright? And this is not going to be the quickest of processes. And I still have to build the 4th tendril. Alright? So this is the start of tendril number 4. There we go. So now, So now the big plan is to build up 1 tendril to, 17 high. And I also have to decide on cross members. What I'm going to do about cross members. So, Alright. So let's see. So this is 5, 6, 7, 8. So this makes 9. So 10, 11, 12, 13. You know, this design of monument is going to have the advantage that I'm actually going to be able to climb it to get a bird's eye view. You can actually just make out, well, you can see all the smokestacks and chimneys in the industrial area. I can't really see much of the factories themselves from this angle. Let me think here. So this is 16, and here's my 17. Alright, and I'm actually going to leave the dirt in place for the moment. I'll actually be able to get it sorted out as I build up the next tendril. Alright. And remember, I just need to match height. Also remove some more dirt. I'm not going to worry about picking up the dirt at this point, simply because dirt's really common, or at least it has historically been pretty common. Although it could well soon become a little bit less common, perhaps. It's possible, depending on how I focus my construction from here on out. Alright. Okay. Yep, alright, and that's the last of the dirt I need to clear up. For that up there. Because that's the final height. Alright. Yeah. So now those two are the same height. You know what? I could probably get a preview of how this looks. Aside from the dirt, and the fact that I still need the other two tendrils, it doesn't actually look too bad. Alright, so let's get the third tendril. Alright. So that gets me to 5. Okay. 6. Yeah. 7. And yes, I can, in fact, see my house from here. It's not actually that far away. I mean, yeah, okay, it's some distance. I mean, that's like 50 blocks-ish. And then probably another 60 or 70 over to there. But, yeah. Wait. No, that wasn't where I wanted the dirt. I wanted the dirt there to make this corner. And I need to remove more dirt, of course. Alright. Yeah. And as this keeps building, yeah. Alright. And that's the last of that, so I'm on the last turn here. Alright. And tendril number 3 is finished. So now what's left is to get tendril number 4 built. And tendril number 4 is this right here. Alright. So now let's get this going up here, make that first turn. And then to approaching turn 2, I need to remove more dirt. Alright. It looks close, but it is actually right, I think. At least it better be. But I'll know for sure once I try to climb up tendril number 1 to remove the dirt that I've been using as scaffolding. Alright. 15. 16, 17, and now the cleanest way down at this point is simply to do this. Jump on to the first tendril, which I could. Yeah. Just dig my way down, pick up the extra dirt so it doesn't clutter up the monument. That looks nice. It's 17 blocks tall, and its ground profile does fit quite easily in a 5x5 area. You know, there is something I've been meaning to check. The City Council, in addition to demanding I built a more stately monument, has also decided to put a couple of notices on our town notice board. Before you ask, yes, the streets will likely be redesigned a bit in Stage 6, I think, with that technical capability to do so efficiently. And that's also going to get rid of the sky bridges and bring them down closer to street level, so that I actually have access to this notice board without having to swim through the street. Alright, let's see. Seismic activity detected. Use of cobble or basalt cobble in construction is hereby forbidden. You know what? Let me fix that sign. I hope they don't mind. Construction is hereby forbidden. Trumanville C. Yeah. You know what? TRV. Yeah. Trumanville Council. Let's use that abbreviation. Seismic activity. I know there's a volcano down that way. But if they're expecting it to blow, it would be wood. Seismic activity. Are they seeing something that would suggest an earthquake, maybe? That's odd. I didn't think Minecrafty was prone to earthquakes. Oh well. I think I'll head home, go to bed, and tomorrow I will see the fruits of my labor, the new technologies, the new things that we can do in Skydustria. Yeah, that monument looks pretty nice. I mean, yeah, there are improvements I could make to it, but, you know, it could be a heck of a lot worse. I shouldn't say that so optimistically, because it suggests that it could be a lot better. The fact of the matter is, that is a nice monument. Yeah, you know what, I'm gonna say it. That doesn't look too great straight on. At an angle like that, it looks awesome. Alright, so now I cross Bauhaus Avenue by swimming. Yes, I know, swimming across Bauhaus Avenue, maybe not the brightest of ideas, but oh well. What am I going to do? Alright. And with that, good night. This has been Skydustria. Thank you for watching. Please rate, comment, and/or subscribe.